Yeah, it's really important to win this one. So who do you feel is favored in this one? I feel something for Harman's lineup. I feel like he is
Yeah.
trying to counter the meta.
Yeah, maybe he is. Hunter's pretty good against Warrior, of course. But the lineup that LB Dutch Boy is bringing here is one of the strongest lineups in the game at the moment. And Harman is just bringing some new decks, so we will see how that's going to work out. And we see they are jumping into the match.
And that is definitely not a Freeze Mage.
No.
It's gonna be a Temple Mage from Harman. And yeah, he is bringing not the standard lineup that we are expecting of a Rogue and a Warrior, Shaman and Warlock. But he is going for Temple Mage, the first one we see at the ESL Benelux Championship.
Yeah, I was not really expecting that Harman was bringing Freeze Mage because of the Warlock ban. If you bring Freeze Mage, you definitely ban the Warrior, because that's a 100% win against Harman. Harman has a pretty good hand. He has that double Arcane Blast that get double damaged by spell damage, and Harman also has 2 spell damage cards in hand with the Cult Sorcerer and the Blood Mage Stalnos.
Yeah, so I decided to play that Cult Sorceress to contest the board. And now LB Dutch Boy has to decide if he wants to play that Feral Spirits. He has that Rockbiter weapon in hand to use with just 1 mana, or he can go for the juggle with the flame juggler.
Definitely, what you can do is just go for Rockbiter, trade away the Cult Master, or the Cult Sorcerer, by the way, and then going out the Flame Juggler. And next turn you can play on curve Feral Spirits, because if you leave that Cult Sorcerer open, you lose your Feral Spirits, and you don't have a follow-up play for the Feral Spirits if you coin it out. You don't have another 1-drop for turn 3 then. So I think this is way better to play on curve.
So yeah, we
Another
see
one.
see another Cult Sorceress and the first Arcane Blast coming in, taking out that Flame Juggler. But there are now a lot of options here. You can go for Feral Spirits, buff the Tunnel Trog, but I feel like Tusker Totemic is giving you more of a board.
Yeah, I know, but if you go for Tuskar, he gets a free trade with the Cult Sorcerer on the Tunnel Trog, and you don't want that to happen.
It's pretty greedy.
Yeah, it's greedy. Yeah, if you roll the Flame Tongue Totem, maybe you get a good one, but it's too scary to do. And this is pretty good turn for Harm. You can go for the Apprentice into the Blood Mage Stalnos, and now that Arcane Blast is going for 6 damage on the Tunnel Trog for only 0 mana. Seems pretty OP.
Yeah, and to refill his hand, Harman has that Azure Drake next turn, so it looks pretty good for him. But a Totem Golem.
Yeah, that's a huge drop by LB Dutch, but he didn't have a 2-drop at all, and he picks up the best 2-drop in the game, the Totem Golem. And otherwise, he was like, he just had to Totem there, and that was pretty weak. And Harman is running out of cards here. So let's see what the draw is going to be for Harman. And LB Dutch is thinking about the value trade on the Blood Mage Stalnos, and I think he has to go for it. He already saw 2 Arcane Blasts though, but still, Frostbolt can be really punishing on his Totem Golem.
Yeah, it can be, but there's only 1 card, and yeah, value trade looks right here. And that Sorcerer's Apprentice has to run into that Spirit Wolf.
Yes.
So you can trade 1 for 2, well, maybe a half a card for 2. You have to pay for it this turn, and you paid for it last turn and this turn because of the overload. But yeah.
I think LB Dutch was thinking about trading the Apprentice. Yeah, and he goes for it, because if Harman picks up like Arcane Intellect into maybe an Arcane Missiles, things like that, you get so much value from the Apprentice. But Harman had only 1 card in hand, so the chance he had that was pretty small though.
Yeah, now he has to decide if he goes for that board or that Flame Tongue Totem and trade with that Drake. There's a lot of spell damage on the board, but not a lot of spells in the hand of Harman.
No, not at all. Yeah, just go for Tuskar here. Develop something. Maybe he's gonna roll another Totem Golem. Or is he going for Hex? He's playing it really safe, LB Dutch Boy. He's not going for the board. He's deciding to remove everything from the Tempo Mage. And Harman finally picks up his Flame Waker. And that Frostbolt is gonna be huge. Ooh, and he can even combo it. He can play Flame Waker into the apprentice into the Frostbolt. And Harmon's thinking, can I also play that mana worm with it? But he's not going. He's going for the mana worm instead of the apprentice. It's a little bit more pressure on the board, and it also plays a little bit better around the Lightning Storm.
And now it's all about what is going to come out of that Tusker Totemic. Is it going to be a Totem Golem? Then it's going to be great.
And this is going to be something else. It's going to be awful. You need something strong here. And there is the Flametongue Totem, like we said before. If you went for it last turn, would you also have get the Flametongue Totem? Is it already inside the Tuskar before you play it? Or is this just a random thing that's going to happen?
I cannot give any conclusive answer on that. I seriously don't know. But he goes for the Mana Tie, draws into that thing from below, and that's pretty big. But we also see a Flame Strike, and that is also pretty big.
Yeah, especially on turn 7. He can instantly play it, remove the entire board from LB Dodgeball, even get 3 extra damage from the Flame Waker and an extra buff on the Mana Worm. And LB Dodgeball is in a really bad spot because of that Flame Strike top deck here.
Yeah, he probably will be looking for that Lightning Storm and hoping to roll high. But even a Spell Totem, there's Primal Fusion. It's not gonna do anything, so you probably be dropping that thing from below here with.
You can just Totemic Call, play Flametongue Totem. Then the thing from below will be only 1 mana, and then you can play Flame Juggler with it, and then snipe the frog probably, because that's how good LB Dodgeball is.
You're predicting right now that he is going to snipe the frog.
Yeah, definitely.
No kisses.
That's how Hearthstone works.
No kisses for the frogs. All right.
It's getting hot in here.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, and he snipes the Flame Waker, not exactly what he was looking for. And I don't know why he wouldn't play the Flametongue Totem here. He could have played it, right?
Yeah, he could have played it, because it would have reduced that thing from below. But Harmon draws into that Forgotten Torch.
Yeah, huge draw again from Harmon. If he gets some good snipes with the Torch, it's gonna be really hard for LB Dodgeball to come back from it.
Yeah, but what you can do is
Double juggle. Double juggle. Both face.
So you can just go face here. Well, the Lightning Bolt is pretty good. You can remove the Flame Waker. You can play that Flametongue Totem and remove the frog.
Down Totem would be huge here. Oh wow, what a totem there for Dodgeball. Because now the Sorcerer Apprentice cannot deal with the Flametongue Totem, and even Primal Fusion can be a thing here. It's a 3/3 buff for only 1 mana. And is he going for it? And let's see what LB Dodgeball decides here. I think you just played, remove the frog, Lightning Bolt. I think he was thinking about the Primal Fusion. I think you Primal Fusion the Flametongue Totem, because that is your biggest threat on the board. You don't want that to get removed. But is Harmon gonna top deck that Fireball? Is it gonna happen, guys?
That is the question. Is it gonna be the Fireball that Harmon draws, or is it anything else? It's now top deck wars, and he draws into the Arcane Missiles. What do they hit?
Oh, it removes the Healing Totem. That's pretty good, because every totem that's gonna make is gonna go on the right.
Wow,
oh wow,
that's an insane draw here for LB Dodgeball. He draws into the Thunderbluff Valiant Totemic Call, and he buffs all his totems with +2 attack.
There is a small chance. Oh, Joxeron top deck on turn 10.
Hello?
Oh wow, hello Joxeron. Healing Wave on himself. He's winning it. Is he gonna heal Dodgeball or himself?
He heals himself. No, he heals.
No, the totem. Is he gonna hit the 1/1? Oh, he did snipe the 1/1. Cabalist Tomb! Getting extra help and a Frostbolt. Oh god. What did he draw? 2 cards? Is it gonna buff him? Vanish!
Amazing.
Another Joxeron next turn.
I believe that Joxeron saved Harmon here.
That's one of the most ridiculous Joxerons I've seen in my life. Every Dutch boy must be so mad now. Wow.
So, well, you still can play everything you have.
Definitely, definitely.
But as a Harmon, you gonna play Yoxeron again? Or,
No. You have a 2-turn lethal. You go for Torch, Frostbolt, ping the face. And that makes... Then you put him on 1 HP. And then you play Ice Barrier.
Amazing.
Do you have enough mana for that? Yeah, you have exact mana for that. So how many damage is this? He has 10, 15, 17 on board. And he gets 6. So it's 23.
oh, and he draws into that ice
that's
block.
lethal.
Well played.
Wait, why did he play Ice Block? He missed lethal, right?
Oh, yeah, he did. He had Roaring Torch.
He had Roaring Torch, but he's still lethal with... Wow, that's insane.
What an insane game.
Yeah.
Alright, so next time there's a Yoxeron being played, but there will not be. You go all the way, and shout out all the cards, so...
I think Harmon has to play another Joxeron. Joxeron or no balls, man. I think he has to go for the Joxeron lethal. Do you think so?
If you want a really good highlight, he goes for the Yoxeron lethal, but you just go safer, you just go Roaring Torch, and that be it. He draws him to an Azure Drake.
What we have to say here is that the Ice Block was played by Harmon. It's not from the Cabalist Tomb, it's not from the Joxeron or something. He just plays it in his deck.
Yeah, he does. So that's a pretty interesting deck from Harmon. He wins. It is 1-0 for him. So,
Yes. Insane game here.
yeah, I believe that Yoxeron won in the game here.
Yeah, definitely. Insane Joxeron by Harmon. Getting all the right cards he was looking for. He got the board clear. He got like 7 new cards or something. He's getting some burst. He even got the heal, right? Oh no, he healed the totem.
Yeah, there's... When you play Yoxeron, there's not a big chance you will kill your opponent, as you can also kill yourself. But the chance of clearing the board, filling up your hands with cards, that's pretty big. So, yeah.
That's why you see Joxeron played on ladder pretty much, because if you're behind, it can only be good for you, right? Because you're behind and you're probably gonna lose anyway. And if you're ahead, you just not play Joxeron. And we see Harmon was behind and he went for it, and wow. And completely turn around the game.
That was insane. So here we go. We go into the second game of this match. It's going to be Urus Harmon as the Hunter and LB Dutch Boy again as the Shaman. And let's see what they mulligan here.
Let's see. I think LB Dutch Boy has to mulligan everything. You're just looking for your Tunnel Trog Totem Golem. That's actually what you're mulligan for every single game. And Harmon has the Doomsayer, and that's awful for LB Dutch Boy. That's losing him the Tunnel Trog. That's losing him the tempo. He's going for Alec here. Oh, he's going.
Yeah, well, it contests the board. And he might draw something, but he doesn't draw anything because of that Master of Evolution.
Yes. Yeah, normally you get high main, but the high main is already in the hand of Harmon, so there was no high main for Harmon. And this is awful for LB Dutch Boy because that Alec is gonna trade into the Tunnel Trog. He's even going for the Doomsayer. I still think you trade away the Tunnel Trog, because there is a chance the Hex is coming out on turn 3. Yeah, well done by Harmon.
Yeah, that Argent Squire will definitely trade with the Alec. So therefore it's good for him to have played that Doomsayer, but also a good play from LB Dutch Boy, using that Totemic Call to make sure that he reduces the mana of his thing from below.
Yes.
If he wants to play it later on. So a good call from LB Dutch Boy, getting value out of that turn even though that Doomsayer was on the board.
There's a bad animal companion for Harmon, and a really good pickup by LB Dutch Boy from the Tunnel Trog into the Pharaoh Spears on turn 4. And he has a follow-up play with the Hex though. But are you gonna save the Hex for the high main? I think you have to.
So yeah, this is gonna be an Infestive Wolf being played instantly. Was a little bit awkward with the Carrion Grub not doing anything, and that quick shot not that good. So yeah, now you could.
You could maybe even Lightning Storm here. If you roll 3 on the Infested Wolf, you have a board clear. But maybe you just go for the value traits on the Leok, go for a Flame Juggler, and just go face with the Tunnel Trog. You have to push some damage here, and you know that Harmon doesn't have the Houndmaster, so you don't have to be afraid of that. And Harmon has a pretty clunky hand with the double high main. Later in the game it can be pretty good, but we also see the Hex in the hand of LB Dutchboy.
I believe that we might see a Flame Juggler here from LB Dutchboy, because he is pointing that Tunnel Trog to that Leok. And that might be that he is... Oh, he's just trading.
Yeah, he's going for the Hex here. He wants the tempo, and he has only 3 mana here. And the high main is still 2 turns away, so there's no rush for LB Dutchboy to save the Hex. He has 3 good minions on the board. And there's the Kodo on turn 5, and that removes the one of the two trees. But Harm decides to go for the Harassing Grub into the quick shot. But I still think the Kodo was way better here, because it also contests the minions on the board way better than the Garrison does.
Yeah, and now we see the Thunderblood Valiant probably kind of come on that board. A Rock Biter on one of the wolves. And then trading into that grab and just go face. And that sets up pretty good for the next turn, because he keeps all his minions on the board. And now...
Yeah, that high main is doing nothing.
No.
LB Dutchboy is just ignoring it. He has 2 towns.
Wow.
And a 7/7.
Let me ask you a question. A 4-mana 7/7, is that any good?
Sometimes. In some situations it can be good, but yeah, I'm not really sure about it. And those 2 ones that are gonna stop the attack from the big lion, is it called Simba?
Not
or is
a
it
lion.
Scar?
It looks more like Scar, more Mufasa. That's Mufasa. That was the name of the father of Simba, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He got killed by Scar, right?
Yeah, so I feel like this is the Mufasa that yeah.
And then LB Dutchboy must be Scar.
So let's see what he can do here. It's a pretty awkward hand, because if you go Deadly Shot, you can't do anything else, and you're just hoping that you kill the 7/7. But maybe that is the way you have to go. Well, this is Harmon. He has to go for the win. So trade in with your...
He has to go for Deadly Shot. Harmon knowing he's probably gonna hit that 7/7, and we already saw some insane RNG in the matches with Ragnaros and stuff, so he's going for the Rhino. Prevents LB Dutchboy from having lethal, and it also forces LB Dutchboy to remove the Rhino. It's really scary to leave that Rhino up, especially with that high main up, because if you kill the high main yourself, if you trade it into a minion, those 2 2s coming out getting charged also. So that's insane. So LB Dutchboy has to remove this, but he has a proper way of doing that. Probably rolling that spell damage totem, that's how this game works. Yeah, and there we go. Like we said, there's the spell damage totem. Lightning Storm is insanely good here, removing everything on the board. Putting 10 damaging, setting up for lethal. Yeah, and is there a way Harmon can win this game?
Yeah, he's gonna hit that Deadly Shot and the Stampeding Kodo. That is what he has to do.
Yeah,
so first Stampeding Kodo, then Deadly Shot.
Yeah, and there's a 50-50, and killing the Thunderblood Valiant is not even that bad though if you kill it with Deadly Shot. He's going for the Unleash, I don't know why. Was Kodo not way better?
Wow, and he hits that.
Like expected.
He hit that 7/7, yeah, like expected, but yeah. Has now a minion on the board, does a little bit of damage, and of course that is a target for the Flame Juggler, but that would be the same as the Kodo.
Yeah, but why didn't he go for Kodo? That was like 10 times better, right?
I don't know about 10 times, but I felt for Kodo. If you can play Kodo, go Kodo. Kodo pretty strong in the meta right now, and Harmon is gonna drop to 5 health here.
He's gonna need that Call of the Wild here. Ooh, but now Kodo Freezing Trap is saving him another turn, I guess. No, it doesn't, right? No, this is lethal for LB Dutch here. Well played by LB Dutchboy, winning the second game. And now it ties up again. It's 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1. LB Dutchboy versus Harmon. And a win for Shaman.
Win for Shaman. Yeah, like expected. Shaman is really strong. Getting that win, almost 100% in a best of 5. And LB Dutchboy has the Rogue and the Warrior left, and Harman has still the Hunter and the Warrior. And Hunter is normally pretty good against Warrior though, so it depends on the next picks from both players who is gonna be favored in this matchup.
Yeah, let's see what they pick. But I feel like I'm still a little bit confused by that mage. I was expecting Freeze Mage, not expecting any Tempo Mage to come in, but there was. And let's see what kind of classes they pick.
We see a Rogue against Hunter, and that's good for LB Dutchboy. LB Dutchboy must have thought, yeah, I will probably keep Hunter. Let's pick the Rogue. Pretty good against Hunter. You can get a early board control as Hunter, and you can just sap away the high mains and things like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Harman, if he loses this one, he has a pretty good matchup with his Hunter versus the Warrior, and after that he has the mirror matchup.
Yeah.
So nothing won or lost here. If LB Dutchboy goes to 2-1, it's still a good possibility for Harman to take the full match. So probably gonna be King's Alec here. Let's see what he jousts into. Nothing.
Ooh, nothing again. Harman's pretty unlucky with his Alex so far. You really want to get a minion out of it. It's so insanely strong if you get a high main or maybe even the Houndmaster from it on curve. And there's the SI, and that's insanely good for LB Dutchboy to coin out that SI agent, getting ahead on the board instantly.
Might go for backstab. Because next turn you can go for backstab SI, and you can even remove a Huffer, a Misha, a Leok that could come down. So
I'm not really big fan of this play. You could develop a minion, and that's so much more worth than just removing a minion. But we will see. He decided good because now he can backstab SI, and Harman must be like, does this really happen? Does he have the nuts? Does he have that good of hand? And he's even saying astounding. The new whoa emote from Bambrode.
A little bit of banter, a little bit of taunting here from the players, and well, yeah, you can play King's Alec to contest and to see. Wow, he draws into Doomsayer, and that's not gonna draw him any minion. He still has a quick shot to remove the SI7 agent, or do just hero power here.
A quick shot on the SI, clear the board. And you already saw the one SI and 2 backstab, so the chance LB Dutchboy has another way of dealing with a 2 health minion is pretty low, right?
Yeah, and if he plays a Tomb Pillager, you have the kill command as an answer. So prep into Fan of Knives.
Nah, you just fan and trade.
Yeah.
You're not gonna use the prep and hope you're gonna draw a Tomb Pillager or something. It's just a one in a lot of cards.
Alright, let's see here. It's just hero power. Not developing.
No, you develop the weapon for 100% sure. You know that that the Rogue doesn't play Harrison Jones. You don't have a lot of space for it, so...
Sometimes the spectator mode is a little bit lagging behind, and now we can see that Gasket Sun into prep, into conceal.
But we see the perfect answer from Harman with the deathly shot. And LB Dutchboy will think, no, don't do this to me, man.
So yeah, that deadly shot is definitely a counter against that Gasketson, and if Harman wins this bad favorite matchup, he is in a pretty good spot to close out the game. So let's see if he can. He might even play the Doomsayer here to make sure that no other minion gets played, or well, just to clear the board and keeping it clear to set up for a Savannah High main or Call of the Wild, but decides to hero power. A good choice. What is the...
He's probably gonna play it next turn because he wants to play that Call of the Wild on the anti-board. And
yeah,
if you play against Hunter, you normally want to win before turn 8, because after that, those Call of the Wilds are gonna completely wreck you. All those animal companions are way too strong to deal with everything. And Harman decides to go for Infested. Well, he could even go for Doomsayer, but he doesn't do it.
Oh no, you're gonna buff some extra damage. Let's see, no Fan of Knives in hand. He could go for Shadow Strike SI and then clear out the board.
You can sap.
Sap.
Sep as
Might
I,
be a better choice.
and then Redagger. And then you get Call of the Wild so hard. Call of the Wild is so insanely strong. But I was a big fan of playing the Doomsayer last turn because it gives you 100% Call of the Wild on an empty board, and now you have to trade your hover into the SI agent, and that's pretty awkward though, because you really want that hover to go face. But as we know, Harman, he's really aggressive, so there's a big chance Harman is going for that Call of the Wild to the face, and LB Dutchboard didn't decide to develop anything, and he's in a really bad spot now. He cannot deal with this board, right?
Well, he might Shadow Strike the Misha SI7.
The other one. Big Telnos.
Well, now you're hoping for not another Call of the Wild, I guess.
Yeah, if that happens, you can concede instantly. That Hyman can be pretty good, but this is lethal for Harman. He has Unleash for 2, Kill Command for 5. Oh no, it's for 4 damage to Unleash. So this is lethal for Harman, and that makes it 2-1. Wow, insanely well played by Harman. He slowed down the Rogue so good, even with that insanely good start with the double backstab SI, and Harman completely turned around the game, and he's 2-1 ahead against LB Dutchboy now.
Yeah, and it was an unfavored matchup for Harman, so a good win. And now he has 2 chances with that warrior that can win a lot of matches. It's just a little bit weak against the hunter.
Yeah, but LB Dutchboy is not bringing it, and LB Dutchboy has the warrior and the rogue. And as we saw, Arne in last game, he won the warrior against the rogue matchup pretty easy. Now, not easy, he was pretty far behind. But he turned around the game, and we see that Warrior can win against that Rogue. And the mirror match is a little bit of 50-50 though.
Yeah, it's all about the draws, and it will be. I guess you use your Rogue just to get it out of the way. You don't go for that mirror matchup.
No, it doesn't matter at all. LB Dutchboy has to win with both decks against the Warrior. Yeah, what they say, you just want to win your best matchup first. But
well, the other thing is we're in the group stage. So all the games that you win matter.
Really?
Well, if you are even, I have to check the rules for that. But if you're even, it might even decide if you are number 4 or 5.
Okay, so then it's really important to go for Rogue first. But we see the mirror match here. LB Dutchboy is maybe pretty confident about playing the mirror matchup. Maybe that's why he decided to go for it. But he picks up a really awful hand, while Harman has a really good hand with already the 2-3 drops, some card draw, Blood to Iker. But LB Dutchboy picked up some good cards there also.
So let's see, yeah, it's gonna be Warrior versus Warrior. Interesting matchup, not gonna see anything on turn 1 being played. And you just armor up. And the players don't know if they are playing tempo or control, but they will be expecting that the control matchup. And also with Harman, we see that a Sylvanas Windrunner. Why would you check in a Sylvanas Windrunner?
Yeah, maybe he's playing Zod, but Sylvanas is a really good card, and especially against classes like Warrior and maybe against a Warlock, Rhinolock, Shaman. It's just a really good card. People have to deal with it, especially with decks that put a lot of minions on the board. You have to trade like 2-3 minions into the Sylvanas, maybe even steal one. Yeah, it's really hard to deal with a Sylvanas. And in the mirror match, it's pretty good. You can steal the rack, you can steal maybe a Gromage. You don't know.
I feel like some people trade a Arati Weaponsmith or a Monkey if they expect a little bit more control matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're expecting to play against a Rogue or maybe a Hunter or a Shaman and Zoo, it's good in the mirror, but...
Yeah, we will see what's gonna happen. Let's see the hand of Harm. Yeah, he's going for that Acolyte into Blood to Iker, getting a card, putting the 2-2 on the board. And the question is he gonna trade into that Bloodhound Brave? I don't think he has to. Ravaging Ghoul is not doing it because it will give Harman an extra card. So I think that's the line of thinking Harman had. Yeah, I can trade it in, but I can leave it up with 1 HP because LB Dutchboy is definitely not gonna play a Whirlwind effect into my Acolyte.
Yeah, you can go for a few War Axe here into the monkey.
Maybe even go for a Battle Rage turn. You can go for like War Axe, Blood to Iker on the 2-1 maybe. Maybe execute the Acolyte to deny some draw, but I think you have to be careful with your executes, especially when you only run 2 removals.
Yeah, I feel like this is good. Let's see what he draws into with that Battle Rage. An Armor Smith and a Gromage. And no executes in the hand of Harmon, but he has those 2 War Axes to deal with that with a Blood of Brave. Has to tank 5 to the face, but that seems fine.
And Harmon doesn't have a proper way of dealing with the board, but that Ravaging Ghoul is doing something at least.
The War Axe is fine, right?
But he decides to go for the Armor Smith instead of the Ghoul. Yeah, you're not gonna play the Ghoul into a War Axe. Yeah, that's a good thinking by Harmon. The War Axe is not dealing with that Armor Smith, and you can save the Ghoul for later on. Maybe even go for a huge Battle Rage.
But now that you have seen that Harmon had a little bit of an issue dealing with that Blood of Brave, do you go for another one, or do you decide, well, he can go to Blood to Iker War Axe? So yeah, just buff that Frothing Berserker, get a threat on the board, because if you cannot deal with that Blood of Brave, maybe you cannot deal with that Frothing.
Exactly, but we see that Harmon has a proper way of dealing with that Frothing Berserker. You can just trade it in, you can just face tank it and then play Ravaging Ghoul. Whoa!
Well, yeah.
And Harmon has balls to the walls with playing that Sylvanas Windrunner.
Yeah, but what do you do here? Because that Sylvanas trade's pretty good with the Frothing.
Yeah.
Do you risk hitting your War Axe and your Slime into Sylvanas and hoping that it does take the Armor Smith?
Yeah, and this is what I say. Sylvanas is such a strong card. You cannot really remove it. Maybe Elby Dutch will have to trade all his minions into that Sylvanas. Or is he gonna go for the risk with the Bloodhound Brave? Go for War Axe, attack with the Slime, and pray for stealing the Armor Smith? Is he really going for that line of play? Or decides he to just go full face? Elby Dutch were making it really awkward for himself. Maybe he should have gone for War Axe, trade, go for 50-50 on the Frothing Armor Smith, but he decides to go full face. And now Harmon is a 1 in 3, stealing that Frothing Berserker.
Well, he can even make it a 1 in 2 with that Slam. So he can Ravaging Ghoul, slam the Slime, and then run into that how do you call, Blood of Brave, and then trade with his War Axe if it doesn't do anything, but then you get a lot of damage to the face.
Okay, let's see what Harmon is gonna do. Is he gonna play for Ravaging? Is he going for Ravaging Ghoul here? I don't think so, right? He's going for that 50-50, I guess. I think Harmon is going for that 50-50 steal on the Ghoul.
Yeah. The only thing is, if it goes wrong, he has to tank something like 10 to the face?
Yeah, I think he has to. But he still has the Battle Rage, right? Harmon is thinking, oh, how am I gonna do this? Maybe you should just go for Ravaging Ghoul.
Yeah, he's gonna go Ravaging Ghoul and then hit Sylvanas into that Bloodhoof.
I really like the attacking with the weapon on the Bloodhoof Brave better. Because then the minions will be 4 attack and then the War Axe couldn't kill it or execute it. Is he gonna steal that Frothing? If he doesn't, it's gonna be really hard for Harmon.
And he doesn't steal it, the Frothing stays on the side of Elby Dutch Boy and he has to face tank the damage.
This is lethal for Elby Dutch Boy. No, he's 2 mana off to activate a Gromage. He has 7 damage here.
So if he plays a Gromage here, it will get executed, so you has to wait.
Yeah, you have to wait for that activator.
But do you hit the face with that weapon to make sure that you... Well, it's hard, because you also want to remove that Armor Smith.
Yeah, Elby Dutch Boy is pretty far behind on cards, so maybe he has to go for it, because you're so far behind on cards. If you gonna play the value game, you're gonna get outvalued so hard by the big hand of Harmon. So maybe he has to go face. You still have an execute if Harmon goes for a taunt. Maybe you just battle rage first. Check what you're gonna draw. Ooh, is he going? Oh, he's hovering over that Gromage. Is he willing to go for that 7 damage to the face?
7 damage to the face or War Axe into that Armor Smith and Gromage into the Ravaging Ghoul.
Ooh, and Blood to Iker. That sets up a.
That's lethal.
Yeah, that sets up. Yeah. But Harmon has that taunt, pretty important. But LB Dutchboy can stall an extra turn with the execute though.
He is gonna go for that Blood of Brave.
There's the second Armor Smith giving Harmon some extra iron, but Harmon does have a whirlwind to get out of the Gromage range here.
So let's see. There's an Armor Smith.
You're definitely not gonna play that. You're not gonna give Harmon some extra value on that Armor Smiths. Can now be Dutchboy? Yeah, Harmon is getting 4 extra health, I guess. So that makes it 13. Yeah, that would be exact lethal for. Ooh, I think you even go execute Kor'kron to the face. For 4 extra, but it can also give Harmon some extra damage. I think you just armor up here.
Yeah, armor up and set up for
turn?
lethal with Gromage. Yeah, and turn.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if you can he get 4 armor out of that Kor'kron? That is
yeah, he can. He can run into the Ravaging Ghoul and then run into. Oh no, he can get 3 at max.
so. It's probably good to play it. You get more damage out of playing it than not playing it.
Oh what? Oh, he's removing. Huh?
This is, I'm not.
Yeah, I think he's doing this because he cannot see the hand of Harmon, of course, and you know that Temple Warrior is playing a lot of towns. They play a lot of whirlwind effects, so the chance Harmon had one is pretty big, especially with a hand of 7 cards. So LB Dutcher didn't want to risk everything by leaving the board up.
Yeah, because if there was a whirlwind effect, he would have healed up a lot with gaining armor, and
Yeah, now LB Dutchboy is in a really bad spot. He lost everything, and that War Axe is gonna deal with that Kor'kron. Or is he even gonna execute it and save his life points? But Harmon knows the only burst he can have is like 10. And I have 15 minus 4, so that's 11. And
that's one of lethal.
really well played by Harmon. Harmon knows what LB Dutchboy is playing. He knows he can only deal 10 damage here, and
You don't want to play that Ravaging Ghoul. You might even want to play the Gromage into that Frothing Berserker, hoping that it not gets any bigger.
yeah, if you run your Gromage in the Frothing, you just give up because you lost your last winning condition. You have 28 health, so you can still draw a Varian Rin or something. Well, if you use your Gromage now, you basically give up the game.
Alright, so that's it has to be armor up and turn pass and hope for a good draw. So last turn we saw LB Dutchboy going for the safe play, not for the aggressive one, and that might have cost him this game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sometimes what we discussed also last week and the week before is sometimes if you are so far behind on cards and stuff, you have to make that one risky play and just go for it. And LB Dutchboy is doing it now, but it's now one turn lane. And if Harmon plays that top deck execute, just to tilt LB Dutchboy a little bit better,
Well,
that would be awesome, right?
It's gonna be 3-1 if Harmon wins, but if he armors up, well,
He can still pick up a second Kor'kron Elite, right?
Yes, and that was what I wanted to say. If he picks up a second Kor'kron Elite, he picks up a Cursed Blade here.
Yeah, that was so risky by Harmon. And Harmon is so smart by trading the Armor Smith first to get him to 5 health. And I have to say, Harmon is playing this really, really well. Playing around every single out of LB Dutchboy, like for a few turns in a row now. Really well done by by Harmon here.
And he has to draw into something, but he is gonna buff that armor. Yeah,
He has to draw execute, otherwise that Frothing Berserker is gonna completely wreck him.
Draws into another Ravaging
Not
Ghoul.
only there's one more shot of drawing it. Is he gonna pick it up?
No, it's
Oh, and there's a
Ragnaros,
rag.
and that
That was
means...
also out, by the way. He could draw a rag into lethal.
Oh yeah, definitely, but now it's lethal for Harmon. Ruse Harmon, he's gonna whirlwind for some little damage on that Flooding Berserker. He is gonna go 3-1 against LB Dutch Boy and take this game, and he now is 2 wins in this championship, and LB Dutch Boy stays on 1.
Yeah, really well played by Harmon. I'm impressed by how he played the mirror match of the Warrior. I have to say that.